Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am the BD Pinda.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Always know that you can take us along with you. And we encourage you to do that, and also encourage you to join Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and today I have with me as my co-host Al Martin, who co-hosts on each and every Saturday from 3 p.m. until 6. We do a conference call, and we encourage you to join us also on Saturdays. Whatever portion of those 3 hours will fit into your schedule, we want you to set aside and join us. I have to say happy Monday to all of you out there and all of you that we meet over the weekend, and that we appreciate you supporting Hood Research. I also want to say that yesterday was Grandparents' Day. I don't know how many of you know that yesterday was Grandparents' Day. However, we got to let these grandchildren know that we have a day too. And September the 8th is Grandparents' Day. You also need to know there's a Children's Day too, in addition to Mother's Day and Father's Day. That does exist as well. We're getting into some serious moments. And we have two issues going on with us. And one is going to take place tomorrow, and that is the debate between Kamala Harris and the past President Donald Trump. That's going to be very, very serious. ABC is hosting it, but I'm sure you'll be able to see it on MSNBC and other stations as well. We also have another serious issue, which is the mind-boggling event that takes place. And I have to call it an event because it goes over and over and over again. And that is the witnessing of people who just fly through red lights. They don't seem to understand that you can kill somebody or get killed yourself by flying through a red light. It's as if the law was changed and the red light above doesn't mean anything anymore. Red light means continue on. I don't know where they got that idea from, but it's happening, and it's happening here in Detroit, so much so that we have a gentleman by the name of James Ford who has taken it very seriously, and he has a passionate campaign to work on the thought pattern of people who, not just here in Michigan, but in Georgia, in Florida, in Texas, and Alabama, and other places as well. And he's doing everything that he can to draw the attention of people, who will draw the attention of our state legislators and have them to figure out what they can do about it. In the meantime, Al Martin, my co-host this morning, I want to thank you for coming down to sit here with me.
Good morning, Theo, and as you know, this is my honor to sit here and enjoy the conversation that always occurs when we get together and talk about the current events of the day.
Absolutely. And the first
going on here. Okay, let me break it down for you real quick.
Okay. Somebody wants to break down the word fascism and democracy, the difference between the two. Maybe we should start there. Somebody's getting real excited about what's happening tomorrow. But fascism is a word that people hear, and many people don't even know the definition. But Donald Trump seems to be very much interested in that. I want to start with that.
Well, Theo, you're right on target. Donald Trump seems to be quite obsessed with eliminating our democracy and moving toward fascism. And as you know, there is this report, or I call it a game plan, that has been developed by the Heritage Foundation. They have turned it over to Donald Trump, and many of the people who worked with him during his presidency from 2017 through 2020 have written this game plan, and they've entitled it Project 2025. And it eliminates the concept of democracy, and it focuses the power of the government in the position of the president. Donald Trump says he knows nothing about it. I think that is just another one of the many lies that he has been telling throughout this campaign, due to the fact that many of his closest friends and comrades were a part of developing this plan. But it puts him in a position of eliminating the civil servants in our government and replacing them with Donald Trump supporters and the people that he calls the MAGA faithful, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is the form of governing that they want to put in place, where the president makes all of the decisions and we, the people, have to abide by it.
Would that be part of the definition of fascism?
And that is a form of fascism, yes. Fascism is opposed to democracy. Fascism normally creates a dictator or a small group of people who make the decisions for the government and for those of us who are being governed. And interestingly enough, for those who oppose fascism, there's a history, Theo, of those people being murdered.
Wow.
And when we look at some of the decisions that are being made by Vladimir Putin in Russia today, that form of government and that tactic of killing your opponents is a part of his governing process.
Yeah. He's the one who used a lot of poison. Well, anyway, we want to hear from Reverend Otis Morse II as he talks about what happened to his father. And I guess the MAGA group was living during that time as well. And for those who haven't heard, MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. And then you're going to hear a little while later Otis Morse III talk about that MAGA term. All right, so now we want to hear Reverend Otis Morse II tell a story about his father.
You ready?
Yes.
Let me tell you a story about my father, Otis Moss Sr. It's the story of my father's determination to exercise his right to vote. One morning in the fall of 1946, he got up, determined to cast his ballot. My father was a farmer, a sharecropper in the rural South. He served in the military during the First World War. Always a man of dignity, quiet courage and determination. Our mother, his devoted wife, had died at an early age, and my father struggled as a single parent of 5 children.
I'm going to vote today.
We were amazed, excited that our father is about to do something really significant.
Go vote, Buckner! Vote him out! Yeah, go get him! We love you! Go get him! Good luck! Bye! We love you! Take care! Go vote him out!
He walked from the house well-dressed, well-groomed, 6 miles to the town center. Now, in every age, things have been introduced to keep certain people from voting, especially black people. We knew the racism, the hatred, the injustice represented in Governor Eugene Talmadge.
And some of the Negroes will vote if I'm your governor. They won't vote in our white primary the next 4 years.
He was well aware of all of the dangers, toils, snares, and roadblocks to keep him from voting. But he was willing to face all of that and exercise his right to vote. He did not know what the experience would be for him on that day, but he was well aware of what was taking place all over the South at that very moment.
Mr. Goldsmith, my best to your family.
Sir, I am Otis Moss, and I am here to vote.
What did you say your name was?
Otis Moss.
Otis, it looks like you've come to the wrong polling place. You need to go over to the Mountville School.
I have a letter here from the county stating that I vote here.
People from your side of town are to vote in Mountville. You're supposed to get a letter, but the mail's been slow this past few weeks. Now, did he come out every single?
I think he came here a little earlier.
May I have my letter back?
Please.
Let me tell you a story about my grandfather. He'd already walked 6 miles to the first polling place. Now he's being told, you've come to the wrong place. A clear and blatant lie. Now he has to go to the Montville School. The Montville School is in a different city. I imagine as my grandfather walked, the sounds of the world crept into his ear. You are a second-class citizen. You are 3/5 of a person. You are nothing but a Negro. But in his spirit, he heard his faith, and the song say, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Not just walking, but marching to the next polling place. He steps through the doors of the Montville School, unsure of what he will face.
Yes?
I'm here to vote. I was sent here from the LaGrange courthouse.
You are in the wrong place. You're supposed to vote at the Rosemont School.
Now, the clerk from the courthouse said I was to come here.
I don't know about that, but I know you're supposed to vote at the Rosemont School.
Ma'am.
Let me tell you the story of my great-grandfather. Because of the color of his skin, he was held back from voting. Voting, a basic right of his, one of his freedoms. And because of the way he looked, he wasn't allowed to. Despite the next polling place being 6 more miles, despite the disappointment and the anger and the frustration, his determination, strong will, and dream to vote outweighed any disappointment that crossed his mind.
Boy, I sure am sorry, but the polling place closed. Now, if you would have been here 5 minutes earlier, we would have let you in.
Wounded, but never give up. Denied, but never accepting that denial. Insulted, but refusing to accept the insult inwardly, and thereby setting an example and a memory for generations unborn. Just a few years after that, our father was killed in an automobile accident. Fast forward, I became a participant in the civil rights movement and the voting rights movement, and joined Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the Selma March, witnessed the signing of the Voting Rights Bill 1965. That was a great moment. It was a great victory. In the civil rights struggle, it was a great accomplishment. However, no one could dig up our father's bones and put a ballot in his hand some things are beyond repair.
Give Papa a minute here. Next time. Next time. Listen here. Promise me. If you get a chance, you gotta vote.
One of the remarkable moments in my life and in my memory is taking my son, Otis III, to vote. I paused on my side of the curtain in prayerful silence and listened to Otis III punch his ballot. That became music. Freedom music. Liberation music. The sound of my father's footsteps trying to cast his vote.
And that was the painful memory of Reverend Otis Moss II. The story of his father's experience, Otis Moss Sr. We'll hear later on in the program Otis Moss III as he energizes us to understand the importance of voting, because like never before, this year, democracy is on the ballot. Now we're going to take a break. So refresh your orange juice, your coffee, and call somebody. Tell them to tune in right here to WHBR. And we're going to hear from James Ford, and then we're going to get back on the importance of your participation in what goes on in our community. We'll be back momentarily.
Hello, I'm James Ford. I survived the red light runner, but will you? You know, Michigan has had 1,123 auto accident deaths a year. That's 21 per week. We know Detroit alone has 156 deaths, and that equals 3 a week. Those stats do not include the 550 people that are crippled and disabled a month. At 12 noon, September 18th, 2024, people in Detroit and other cities in Michigan will meet in Lansing, state capital, and complain about red light running, drag racing, and hallucinated driving. Yes, bring your lawn chairs. September 18th, Detroit and all Michigan cities will ask legislatures to enforce and enact laws that will stop drag racing and red light running and hallucinated driving. You know, this is not different than the Flint water crisis. People are dying. Join us Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. If you like, call 586-918-3061 for more information. Drag racing, red light running, hallucinated driving, it must stop. Stand up, September 18th. Call and share your input. Call 586-918-3061 or call 701-3 301-3118. Also, again, people of all nationalities, express your input and ideas at 586-918-3061 or 701-301-3118 to stop drag racing, red light running, and hallucinated driving. Thank you, and God bless everybody. Thank you.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle, Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Wally Warmer here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
chew!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the chew germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
And don't forget, you can always take us along with you. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. My co-host this morning is Al Martin, and we do have with us this morning James Ford, who is the passionate one about the serious activities and actions of irresponsible drivers here in this area and other areas as well. Thank you, James, for joining us this morning. You have a demonstration taking place on the 18th of September. I believe the day is a Wednesday. Tell us about it.
Yes, Wednesday, September 18th. Detroiters will make history. And we hope it's a lot of them. We hope it's 1,000 of them. Because drag racing, red light running is not just analogous to Detroit. It's all over the United States. It's in different cities, Memphis, Louisville, LA, it's all over. But we'll be the first state, the first city to say we had enough. We've had enough, we can't take anymore. As I go through, by me being the point person and maybe stopping at accidents, asking questions, unfortunately I've heard about people coming up to me as I hand them flyers and say, well, you know, there's dismembered bodies and everything else laying around the city, different places. And they tell me a lot that other people might not hear, basically because they want to get it out and they have the flyer. So we're in a situation where it's either now we're going to stand up or we're going to get ran down. It goes back to what Joanne Watson said. All we have is each other. And that's what we're going to have to demonstrate on September 18th, that Wednesday, is that we got to go to Lansing and let them know we had enough. And I brought a little something that I want you to hear. And you can tell me who did this, and I'm going to try to play it. If not, I'm going to just continue talking. But I want you to hear this.
On the 18th, is there a bus going to Lansing?
Yeah, on September, what I've got won't play right now,
Mhm.
but on September 18th, we have a bus going to Lansing from Burt's Warehouse.
Mhm.
And it's going to leave at 9 o'clock. I didn't say be there at 9 o'clock. It's going to leave at 9 o'clock. And my phone number is 586-918-3061. 586-918-3061. The tickets to get on the bus are $35. You still have a chance to purchase one, although they're going fast. I would say this, and I'll say this to everybody that's listening within the sounds of my voice. How can you continue to put children in the back seat of a car and strap them in like you're supposed to do, and then not go to Lansing September 18th? How can you invite your relatives over from out of town and not go to Lansing September 18th? They do not know how to count 1, 2, 3 and then drive. They do not know what to look for. They are busy looking at the scenery and doing everything because they're in a strange city. So you're going to have to make a decision September 18th. Either you're going to go to Lansing or you're not. Either you're going to protect your relatives and children or you're not. Everybody said they loved Barack Obama, but Barack Obama said one thing. He said, tough decisions are the ones that you remember and the ones you cherish. So you got to make a tough decision September 17th so you'll be on time September 18th in Lansing. It's a tough decision to make. And I'll just say this because I don't want to get hung up in anything. I'll say this. We're not promising anything that's going to happen. The only thing we know, if we show 1,000 strong or more, the possibilities are great. We're inviting the legislators. Plus, we're going to send a digital copy of a video that we're going to make to the legislators just in case they're not there. We're going to send a digital copy of a video to them so they'll have it on their computer if they're not there or they can't see it for any reason. So September 18th is the time when you're going to make history. You're going to stand up or you're going to either get ran down. The thing is this. How can you live in agony for the rest of your life forever? And you got the highest insurance rates and you're getting killed. That's three things. You're living in agony. I've heard a lot of people come up to me because I am the point person. They come to me and talk. I'm passing out the flyers. I'm scared to go out. I don't want to go out. Then I've got the highest insurance rates. And not only that, your people are getting killed. And I made a statement on the video that most people see, and it'll be playing to the 18th here and I hope other places on YouTube. I said this is similar to the Flint water crisis. Yes, it is. And it's actually worse because people are dying, and they're dying from auto accidents. There are at least 4 heavy accidents in the city a day. And I'm talking about people, cars smashed, they got to go to the hospital, and 4 people are dying a week. That's proven. The insurance companies and everybody got those statistics. But there are a lot of statistics that are being sequestered here in the city. Why? That's for you to ask. That's for you to find out. But we have got to make some changes. So we're going to go, we're going to stand up, we're going to let them know we got a problem. And hopefully this message will get out to Washington, D.C. and let people know all over. We can't take anymore. How much, I want to ask everybody in here that's listening, you won't be able to answer, but how much more can you take? How much more can you take? Everybody's car got a dent in it. Everybody don't want to, I have a couple of dents in my car, but I'm not going to take it and get it fixed because I know I'm going to get another one pretty soon. So this is real serious. If I were listening to what we're talking about right now, I would get on the phone and call some people and say, we got to go. We have got to go to Lansing and see what's going on. And the message that we're going to leave is this. You saw 1,000 of us. Maybe next time you'll see 2,000. Because we can't, how much more can you take? Ask yourself, how much more can you take? You can't take anymore. I've heard police officers say that they have arrested people and taken them to court, and when they got there, they found out the person had maybe 7 or 8 cases against them of driving and hazardous driving, but nothing has happened to them. So what's going on? So the police that have given me a little side information that I've talked to say they're tired. They say they're tired. So the question is, what else can we do? What we're trying to do is get a police detail here in Detroit that only deals with traffic. They do not do anything. We used to have it. When they get up and go to work the next morning, they know they're dealing with traffic. They know the intersections. They know what to expect. They know where to go. They deal with traffic. They can't leave and go do anything else. They can't go somewhere else. We want a traffic detail. And we would appreciate it if the legislators would look at license plate readers. That, take your license plate, you ran this light, well, when you go home, you might have a surprise in 2 or 3 days. You got a ticket. A lot of people don't understand that. They think that, well, what's that going to, well, it's going to do a lot because people are going to think before they get their cars to their children. They're going to think before they get a car to other people that maybe not are responsible. And they're going to be cautious themselves. They have that law in Florida. You run a red light, well, we got you. We're not asking for facial recognition. That's what people don't want. We want license plate readers. And then other thing Detroit really needs, and not only Detroit, the state and other states, we need a blatant red light law. When you run a red light, now it's not, I made a mistake and I ran a yellow light and I caught the tail end of a yellow light. And Theo, we've asked you to speak on this up in Lansing, and I'm sure you do a great job. People are making conscious decisions to run that red light. They are saying to themselves, I'm gonna run this light, I don't care what's on the other side of it. We need a blatant red light law that says if you are at this point, and then you knew that, and that light turned red, well, your fine is a little different than you just catching the end of a yellow light. Your car may be taken. You may do some time in jail. You might have to do some heavy community service. Or whatever the judge think is necessary. Maybe just relieve you of your license for a while. What else more can we take?
Yeah. Now it's Wednesday, September the 18th, and people have to gather at Burt's Marketplace in Eastern Market. I think the address is 2731 Russell Street.
Right.
And if the bus is leaving, going to Lansing
Right.
at 9 a.m., they have to be there prior to.
Right. But I want to make one clarification. We're not. You won't be able to get there and pay $35 to get on a bus or that bus. You got to do this like within 4 or 5 days of the 18th. So you better be calling if you plan on, or try to be calling if you plan on going. You won't be able to pay at the door or pay on the bus. It's not that situation. And if you are going to Lansing and you want to go to Lansing, I would say do not meet at Burt's. Go on up to Lansing. Go look for the state capitol. Go find you a parking space. Do not go to Burt's unless you're going to get on the bus. Just go on to Lansing. Or you can meet at Burt's and follow the bus. But what if you live in Southfield? You're closer to Lansing. Call your relatives that may live in Saginaw, Flint, Muskegon, Bay City, wherever you got relatives, and tell them to meet you there. Because pretty soon, this is going to matriculate to your city, and it's probably in a lot of people in Southfield are already complaining. Some people in Dearborn got killed week before last. The boy in Sterling Heights just got killed. And I know you heard about the mother that was calling, telling her son to turn his car in. He was doing 100, and she had a monitoring device on her phone telling him to slow down, stop, turn his car in, but he didn't, and he killed somebody. That case is in court now. I don't forgot what city. So, people, it's either you're going to stand, and it's not a black thing. It's a white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Asian, green, yellow, whatever you are. It's everybody's thing because you got skin in the game. And I want to tell the people that listening that may be a part of city government, you have people in those automobiles also. And anybody want to call me, it's 586-918-3061. You got to remember, people, at certain times, you got to make a decision. What else is more important on the 18th in Lansing unless you got a job? And I understand some people may work for the city and I just can't go because I don't really want to be seen there. I work for the, send somebody then because you driving also.
Al, you have any questions?
Mr. Ford, you have been working on this issue for some time now. Have you noticed an increase in the people that you talk with about our traffic enforcement and about this issue? Is it picking up momentum as you talk more with people about this?
Yes, it's definitely picking up momentum, but it's not picking up the momentum that it needs to. And I'll tell you why. But it is picking up momentum. We're expecting a pretty big crowd in Lansing. But I say this, I encourage the pastors in this city, and I hope most of the people here know some. I would encourage the pastors to tell their congregations that are so faithfully honest to them and come to them travel the streets on Wednesday night, going to Bible study, and Thursday night, go to the churches. Tell your congregations to go. We need more ministers to get involved. We need more ministers to say, this is something that we need to do. I think that's very important. I think that the youth groups, or whatever you do, if you got the Girl Scout group or Boy Scout group or whatever you have, you've got to encourage the school board. Everybody that goes to the school board, I spoke at the school board meeting at Finney last week before last. I think it's up to the school board and the school board superintendent to encourage people to go to Lansing. Children are riding those buses. On Harper and Van Dyke, I saw an 18-wheeler just miss a school bus maybe a month ago, and I couldn't believe what I saw. But it didn't happen. That's right over there by Kiva Village on Harper and Van Dyke, right over by the Chrysler plant they built. So I would say it's got to pick up more momentum, but right now it's in the hands. Like they say, the cake is in the oven. The cake is in the oven right now. We're going to have to do this. And I will say this. There are a lot of people that ask, well, maybe James Ford maybe should have did this, and maybe James Ford should have did this, and maybe he should have did this. Well, you got your opportunity, because September 18th, after I do this, I'm looking for some people to help us to carry this on. You have your input more so than mine.
Okay.
Come. If you have great computer skills, you're a great communicator, or you think that you can enhance what we're trying to do, come and help out. It may be good for someone else to take over the rings, because I want to express one other. I live in Florida for 6 months. I think that somebody else would do a better job than me. I will always be around. I will always do everything. I still be the point person, but we need a year-around person. We need an organization that may want to take this over and deliver this.
Well,
I do not have the capabilities of doing all the things that needs to be done. Detroiters, you're in trouble.
Well, I thank you so much for sharing that with us. And you've given your number, and I'm sure that someone will contact you to share their ideas with it. But we definitely need to have our legislators hear and see what is going on. And I know that I heard Judge Strong was hit by someone who flew through a red light. And I'm sure there are others who are elected officials and from other employed areas who maybe have not come forward to let us know that it's happening to them as well. But we have to continue doing everything we can.
I want to interject one thing, Theo. I was driving down the street the other day, and I was asked the police, well, why was his light out on the back of his car? Just joking. He told me he was hit. The police told me somebody ran a red light and hit him.
Yeah. See, so it is time for us to work together and do all that we can to make a change and to let other people who are driving in this manner know that they've got to stop. And we're going to do everything we can to stop it. And the others who have ideas, just remember that James Ford has given you his number, area code 586-918-3061, to share your ideas with him and let him know that you're going to be at Russell Street the morning of Wednesday, September the 18th. As the bus is leaving, you'll want to be on it.
And all the proactive groups, well, I say Hood Research at Kiva Line Village, Mac Alive Group, the community group on the west side that June Mack is in charge of. All the community groups are getting together at this time, trying to get together and form one strong wall to move to Lansing.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing that with us. And now we want people to be motivated by Reverend Otis Moss III. This is a serious time, a time to be motivated to stop those who are running red lights, those who have not been injured, who don't understand it can happen to them and they can be killed. It is a time to be working together and motivating that we need to vote as a bloc, because what is going on in this country, to hear someone say that we may be moving from democracy to fascism, which is another word for a dictator, somebody who can tell you when you can get up, get down, go to bed, eat, whether you can go to work or not, or you have to do slave labors, or you're going to be prosecuted for not supporting him. You need to be motivated. And I want to thank you, James, for being here with us this morning.
Still, can I make one comment before I leave about the voting? This is just about voting.
Sure, yes.
I think that everybody, if you get the phone number for the Democratic Party, I call constantly. But if you happen to be don't know who you want to vote for, and you should, I want you to think about the person that's running for president said that there was a whole country of people that he didn't really like. Tell him about the boys in New York that he tried to have prosecuted and was prosecuted, and then he tried to put them to death. And also his father did not rent to blacks. Those are three things that you got to tell these young people that mind is screwed up. He did not want to rent to blacks. He called the country that we all came from an S-hole country, and he tried to prosecute and kill 5 boys in New York. The young people walking the streets do not know that. Call the Democratic Party and tell them that they should put that on the internet.
Donald Trump paid $85,000 for a full-page ad to say that the Central Park 5, which was 4 young black males and 1 Latino male, Mexican male who was with them, and Donald Trump paid $85,000 for one full page to say they need to be murdered for raping a white woman. It never happened. They never saw her, didn't know her, didn't touch her or anything. And now that they have been found innocent, he hasn't even spoken about the fact that he wanted to kill people who hadn't done anything. He has not apologized, doesn't intend to apologize, but he does intend to be a dictator over this country if you don't do something about it. And now we want to hear from Reverend Otis Moss III.
Past Tuesday, on Tuesday night, I was watching a debate. I kind of felt the same way when I was watching the debate, the way some of you all just responded, but God placed something on my heart that I would like to share with everyone here and those who are online with us today. Politicians never do the right thing unless a moral witness, a prophetic wing, or an ethical enclave stand for them and demand change. Abraham Lincoln did not free the slaves because he felt like it, but he was forced into glory by the moral witness of the likes of Frederick Douglass. FDR did not create the New Deal because it was a good idea, but he was forced into glory by the moral witness of people who demanded action during the Great Depression. Lyndon Baines Johnson did not sign the Civil Rights Bill and the Civil Rights Act because it was a nice idea, but he was forced into glory by the work of Martin Luther King Jr., John Lewis, and Fannie Lou Hamer, and others. Unfortunately, in our American political system, candidates and parties are beholden to special interests. But never forget We, the people, have power. We, the people, black people, kissed by nature's son, have power. We have power in our vote. We have power in organizing. We have power with our pocketbook. We have power with our voice. And we have spiritual power connected to our faith. Black people have historically saved America from itself. Black people have historically been a moral witness demanding this democracy include all who yearn to breathe free. I believe the choice this November is not between two candidates, but two visions of this nation. One vision romanticizes the Confederate mythology that was birthed from the antebellum South. Another vision still sees America as the yet-to-be United States of America. I cannot support any vision. You can vote for whoever you want to, but I cannot support any vision that speaks to making America great again, because my conscience and my soul tell me when a person states America with the past tense language was great, I must speak up and say, what year are you talking about? Was it before I could vote, or was it a year I was considered nothing more as chattel? Was it a year when women did not have the right to vote, or was it the year before unions had been organized? I cannot support anyone's false nostalgia of white supremacy. I believe democracy is on the ballot. For some, and I understand it, the only issue is the horror, tragedy, pain, and destruction of human thriving in the occupied territory we call Gaza. For others, it is Gaza, the Congo, the Sudan, and Haiti. But I say to us all, we must look at all issues, foreign and domestic. For the question before us is, what will this country be? Not for our children, not for our grandchildren, but for our great-grandchildren. We must, as a church, and when I speak of the church, I said we must, as a church, the black church collectively, not churches that just have black people in them. I'm talking about the black church of Frederick Douglass, the black church of Harriet Tubman, the black church of W.E.B. Du Bois and the souls of black folk, the black church of A. Philip Randolph, the black church of Ida B. Wells, the black church of Ella Baker, the black church of James Lawson, the black church of Willie Barrow, the black church of Jesse Jackson, the black church of Jeremiah Wright, the black church of James Cone, and the black church of Martin Luther King Jr. The question for us today, since democracy is on the ballot, is will we stand up for the 295,000 people who die as a result of poverty every year? The question for us today, since democracy is on the ballot, is will we speak for the 87 million people who are uninsured in this nation? The question for us today, since democracy is on the ballot, will we stand up for people such as members in this congregation who have to decide whether to pay their rent or purchase prescription drugs? The question for us today, since democracy is on the ballot, will we stand with our union sisters and brothers who are under attack by corporations who want to outlaw unions? For those who do not know, unions ended child labor. Unions created the 40-hour work week. Unions created the 8-hour work day. Unions provided unemployment benefits, workers' compensation, and your retirement benefits. That is because of the work of unions. The question for us today, since democracy is on the ballot, will we fight for HBCUs? They are being attacked across this nation, where conservative legislatures want the land that is our historically black colleges sit upon. They are coming after North Carolina A&T. They're coming after North Carolina Central University. They're coming after Florida A&M. They're coming after Alabama A&M, Jackson State, Albany State, Fort Valley Southern, any state institution that is a historically black college. Since democracy is on the ballot, will women, let me say it again, will women, not men, will women, not men, but will women have the autonomy to make medical decisions about their body, and will people of faith be present to offer compassion, love, prayer, and support regardless of their decision?
Will we fight to ensure that every returning citizen has full citizenship rights after they've served their time in prison? Since democracy is on the ballot, will we seek to abolish the penal system of incarceration that is destroying our community? Since democracy is on the ballot, will we vote to protect our right to vote across this nation? Conservative legislators are passing laws to restrict voting rights and gerrymandering districts to dilute black political power. Since democracy is on the ballot, will we fight to protect this planet as we are seeing the effects of climate change right here in Chicago? Since democracy is on the ballot, you must know there are 46 judicial appointments the next president will make that will reshape voting rights, unionization, homelessness, and even possibly outlaw historically black colleges. Since democracy is on the ballot, I'm not a one-issue voter, but I'm a voter who votes to protect black issues. Since democracy is on the ballot, I'm asking today, right now, everyone in this village, if you are a registered voter, if you are an organizer, if you are part of a union, if you lead a block club, if you are a local activist, it's time for us to get together as a community and collectively as a church and do what our ancestors have done generation after generation and save this nation from itself. Democracy is on the ballot.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome our first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Woody Woodland here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first, they'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Impinda.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Right. Don't forget, you can always take us along with you and be with us at the many activities that we organize as well. We have just heard from James Ford, a gentleman who is passionate about the event that's taking place on Wednesday, September the 18th, leaving at 9 a.m. by bus from Russell Street, 2731 Russell Street, and that's in Eastern Market. So I hope that you will choose to participate on that day. Let the legislators in Lansing know that we need some stronger legislation and some dollars allocated so that the police chief can hire more police officers and establish a traffic team to put a stop to this. The same as they put together a crime team for stopping some of the crimes within the city of Detroit. We have also had an opportunity to hear from Reverend Otis Moss III, pastor of the Trinity Baptist Church in Chicago, Illinois, helping us to understand the importance of democracy. And now you were going to give us some examples of fascism so that people can learn the difference between democracy and fascism.
Theo, it is just so wonderful listening to Reverend Otis Moss III, and I don't think we can ever tire of hearing his speech. Democracy is on the ballot. It most certainly is. And to recognize that this is in his family. It was his grandfather who tried so desperately to vote and was not allowed to do so. And the interesting thing about it is that in our society, and the words starting our Constitution, we the people, it is up to us to make sure that we deliver on our obligation to maintain our democratic process. That's the process, Theo, that allows us to determine who the people are who develop and implement the public policies by which we live. We get a chance to vote on those people. We get a chance to tell them what we want to happen in terms of our public policy. And if they fail us, we can vote them out of office. When you have fascism, you do not have any of those opportunities. Fascism is a form of dictatorship, either by a single individual or by a small group of individuals. Donald Trump has been campaigning to become the president of this country, and he's telling us during his campaign that he is going to be a dictator day one. He also tells us that once he gets in office, there will not be a need to have other elections. Now, Theo, what he is telling us is that democracy, which fascism does not like, which fascism does not tolerate, and which fascism will not have, allows people to express their desire for the government under which they live. Fascism and its dictatorship form of government does not allow that. It allows people like Donald Trump to get in office, to remove the civil servants that implement our policies, the conditions under which we live, and to install people who will do what he, Dictator Trump, tells them to do. They then implement his desires for the conditions under which we live. Clearly, democracy is on the ballot.
Absolutely. And you know, I often tell people that we in this community need to be commercials. We need to be walking, talking commercials. Talk to your family member, your friends, your church members, your co-workers, classmates, and people in the beauty shop, barber shop. Just talk about it. Let them know you're not afraid to share with them your thoughts and feelings about what is going to be the most serious, life-changing, or life-saving event this year. And that is the election of the next president of these United States. Now we know that the media does not seem to be concerned about doing any right thing. And you have to understand that. You have to, if you're going to watch it, listen carefully to what is being said, and know that the candidates who are campaigning for your vote to become president of the United States is extremely important. You know, Al, I wonder sometimes, what are the fraternities and sororities doing? And if they were to, if you say, kick into gear and do a little bit more and a little bit, and pretty soon you'll know that they're doing a lot more, because they're beginning to realize that democracy is on the ballot. And there is a man running for president of these United States who wants to get rid of democracy, wants to demolish democracy, wants to be a dictator, and has said so out of his own mouth. He wants to be a dictator. Why would you want somebody to make a decision on you and anything that you cherish, anything that you want to do, so that you can not make your own decisions? Is that preferable? I know our people are not lazy, and they want to do things for themselves. But if you elect someone who wants to get rid of democracy, which is an even, equal choice, democracy, you have a chance to continue making decisions that you know will benefit this country, will benefit this community, will benefit you and your family. You don't want fascism. You don't want a dictator. So that is what seems to be going on. And, you know, Al, I listened to a program early this morning, and they were noting that this Donald Trump, who is campaigning to be president, has been talking violence. And
yes.
Why do we need any candidate who only wants to talk about violence?
Theo, violence is a part of Donald Trump's program. Mm-hmm. Let's remember that, first of all, democracy requires a peaceful transfer of power. In our system, we have always had the peaceful transfer of power.
Right.
We even had an election a few elections ago when George Bush defeated Al Gore, who was the Democratic candidate. And the election had some irregularities, and it went to the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court determined that George Bush had won that election. Al Gore, following our history and following the principles of democracy, transferred over the power. Because remember, at the time, Al Gore was a vice president. Transferred over to George Bush because he lost that election. Now, Donald Trump, when he lost the election to Joe Biden, Donald Trump wanted to encourage the violent overthrow of a duly elected president. He even urged his vice president, who, as vice presidents do, serve to transfer the power. They serve to certify the election. He wanted his vice president to refuse to certify the duly correct election of Joe Biden. And he had encouraged people to go to the Capitol, stop the transfer of power, declare that the election was not a duly creditable election. And if his vice president failed to do that, people were ready to hang the vice president. Now, this is a kind of violence coming from Donald Trump. This is the kind of violence, Theo, that is a part of fascism. We have seen this. People saw this occur, this violent action occur on their TVs. They heard about it on their radios. So we know that Donald Trump sat in the White House on that day and watched this occur, watched people being attacked, police officers being beaten and attacked, and he did nothing about it. That's because this is the violence that is a part of the fascist game plan. Theo, Reverend Moss is absolutely correct. Democracy is on the ballot, and democracy requires that we, the people, turn out in large numbers, express our vote on who we want to govern us. And let's make sure that we hold those people accountable. But it is incumbent upon each registered voter to turn out and vote on Election Day.
That's going to be a monumental task, and I do know that we're up to it. And you know, I suggest a number of things for that day. For those who won't be able to get to the polls, they need to call the clerk's office and make sure that they can get an absentee ballot. So that they won't have to leave their home, their easy chair, their backyard, won't even have to get out of bed. Just fill out the ballot and send it back by the postman.
That's correct.
That's one of the ways. And people need to check 313-876-0190, which is a telephone number for the clerk's office. 313-876-0190. And you call that number to make sure that no mistake has taken place, and your name should be on the ballot as a registered voter. And you have to do it today. And we want you to know that working together as a group, a block, is going to make a difference. Because as you go as a group, one inspires the other, one gets the other excited. And then as you talk about it, you're glad that you're going together.
And Theo, we have an opportunity in this current presidential election to elect a woman who is qualified, who has been a part of our public life as vice president. She has been a prosecutor at the city level, a prosecutor at the state level, attorney general at the state level. We are talking about a highly qualified individual who tells us in her campaign that she is going to work diligently to establish an opportunity economy, an economy where all Americans not only can make ends meet, but can also prosper and get ahead.
And I gotta say that we in this community worked as a block to establish the grocery store that is on Woodward Avenue and Euclid. That's the People's Grocery Store.
Yes.
You can buy a block of stock in it and be one of the owners. It's ours. It's ours on Woodward Avenue and Euclid. Beautiful place, very clean, ample parking. The kind of service, the kind of facilities that we need all over our community. We are somebody, and we want the world to know. There's a gentleman who comes here periodically, Anthony Brogdon, and he writes about the good news, the good inventions done by good black folks. That's what's in his book. And he does it to encourage our people in the community to know many of the things that have been done, have been accomplished, have been created, have been built by our folks. And we got to know that as we work together, we can make a difference. We can definitely make a difference. So, Al, this hour and a half, I don't understand it. It just flies. But I want to thank you for being my co-host today.
Theo, thank you so much for having me, and you're right, it went too fast.
Right. And I always say at the end of the show, it's not necessary for you to know everything, but it is necessary for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can and encourage you to seek out information to share with us as well. It's how we all can grow, and we all can work together as a group. We can get this job done. We can let the country know, the state know, the county know, the city know, our neighborhood and our churches know that there's someone who doesn't care that democracy is on the ballot. There's a man who wants to be a dictator, a man who says flat out, I want to get even with anybody that I think has done something wrong and done something wrong to me. Just like the $85,000 that he spent for a full-page ad in the New York paper to kill 5 teenagers who had done nothing. Nothing. We want you to join Hood Research. It's $20 a year for membership, $300 for a lifetime membership. The telephone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. Again, the telephone number is area code 248-234-2371. Email contact@hoodresearch.org. CONTACT, the little @ symbol, the A with the circle around it. HOODRESEARCH.org. Just join us and help us to do all that we can to build this community to be the best community it can. Al, you wanted to say a few things?
Theo, I just want to say to our viewers and listeners that our power is in our vote, and we must use that power to improve the quality of our lives.
And know that tomorrow is the debate. You want to see the debate, and you want to be able to evaluate the debate. And know that next Saturday, if you can set aside some time between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., you can join us on our conference call. The numbers for those who have pen and paper handy, area code 978-990-5000. Area code 978-990-5000. The access code is 338729#. Again, the access code, because the phone rings one time, you got to be ready. The access code is 338729. Press the pound key. You'll hear us talking, and join us anytime between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Saturday. Thank you again for tuning in this morning. We'll see you here again next week at 9 a.m. Peace.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.